The following episode contains explicit language, violence, and body horror.
Previously on Masks and Mayhem.
As a lot of you stand on the docks, Yardak's paramour, Yaradamo, makes his way to his feet.
Okay, well, what happened? Not that I'm not happy to see you.
I was ambushed. They said they were coming here, coming to you. And I just took off as fast as I could. And the one that mutated from water into Atlantean, he's wearing kind of a long, flowing, almost robe, again, in a similar color and style to the clothing that Yardak and Yaradamo wears. You do your people a great disservice, Yardak. If you love this city so much, perhaps it should sink as well. So the next one that goes is the one with the shurikens. For a brief moment, because they didn't actually hit you, they hit the ground near you. You felt like a pulse from them. You did not feel any connection with the water.
No thanks. I
rolled a 3 to have a 14. What do I know?
What Ruby thinks immediately is specifically spots that are near deep water. Palladino Ridge, north of the city, has very deep river areas that could be pull a lot of water from. Possibly the spots near Riverside City University, the campus area. That has a lot of small ponds and whatnot, but also some really deep water along the river.
Oh, I was going to say, Ruby makes a piece of paper, makes a pencil, and starts writing all the places down that she thinks have deep enough water.
And then Lazerhawk, the one you kind of notice that she doesn't write down that really stands out to you is in the center of town, there's the water treatment plant, which also has its own small dam reservoir, but it's also a very, very deep lake. And it's pretty much in the center of town.
So boy, wouldn't it suck if something happened to the water treatment center? Maybe we should get some guys down there.
Sloan kind of nods his head. He's like, yeah, if they broke the dam, it would flood a whole bunch of downtown and most of all of the Centennial. And then all of a sudden you hear a from Frank's computer.
That doesn't sound good.
And he spins around and he looks at his computer and he looks back up at the map. Yeah, they're hitting all of them.
What do I know?
What Ruby thinks immediately is specifically spots that are near deep water. Palladino Ridge, north of the city, has very deep river areas that could be pull a lot of water from. Possibly the spots near Riverside City University, the campus area. That has a lot of small ponds and whatnot, but also some really deep water along the river.
Oh, I was going to say, Ruby makes a piece of paper, makes a pencil, and starts writing all the places down that she thinks have deep enough water.
And then Lazerhawk, the one you kind of notice that she doesn't write down that really stands out to you is in the center of town, there's the water treatment plant, which also has its own small dam reservoir, but it's also a very, very deep lake. And it's pretty much in the center of town.
So boy, wouldn't it suck if something happened to the water treatment center? Maybe we should get some guys down there.
Sloan kind of nods his head. He's like, yeah, if they broke the dam, it would flood a whole bunch of downtown and most of all of the Centennial. And then all of a sudden you hear a from Frank's computer.
That doesn't sound good.
And he spins around and he looks at his computer and he looks back up at the map. Yeah, they're hitting all of them. Yardak and Yaradamo, you are pushing the van with your water control, barreling it through the sky towards the water treatment plant. How are you feeling?
I am resigned because I knew that this was going to happen ever since that insurrection movement. I knew that everything in Atlantis was eventually going to spill onto land like they wanted it to, but also determined because I know that we're going to beat these extremists.
Meanwhile, Lazerhawk, what are you doing? What are you up to? What's going through your head?
Hey, RC, can I ride the van? Like, can I surf on it?
If you're so determined, make an acrobatics check.
If you fall off, you get left behind.
It's okay, I pulsar pogo. 31?
Yeah, you're fine. You're able to get on and steady yourself outside of the van.
So I guess I'm just alone in this van, playing the Beach Boys for myself.
Hey, I'd like to think that you have the windows rolled down, and I'm totally jamming along with you.
Do I have the windows rolled down, though? Am I going to get water damage from this?
You can crack it open a little bit.
I'd be more worried about the undercarriage, but we're not going to think about that right now.
Yeah, this is a fantasy game. It's fine.
Yeah.
Also, Ruby, your phone is buzzing.
I guess I answer it on speaker. I'm responsible. I'm behind the wheel still, even if I'm not really driving the car.
Oh, it's actually just like a flurry of texts.
Oh.
And most of them are from Bethany. A few of them are from Jack, basically just being like, what's happening? The North End is under attack.
It'd be better if they were just like, what's happening? We're seeing your van on a giant wave through the city.
Yeah. I'm like, because we're not actually headed to the North End. And I could be like, big part of the city is under attack. We're going to where we think the most dangerous people are. But there should be some help coming to the North End soon. I would stay put, stay safe, stay dry.
And you actually get a live video. Bethany's actually out on the streets, filming some of it.
That's not saying safe and dry, but also as filmmaker, I appreciate this.
From the clip she shows you, you see 2 Atlantean soldiers just using water whips to cut down telephone poles and things. And they're falling over and power lines are going everywhere.
Damn.
I love that on land, my powers are ooh, so cool. But then all these people with their same exact thing come up on land and they're just sort of fucking shit up.
For the record, I said back, damn. I'll definitely try to get down there as soon as we get the threat that we're going after. Keep me updated on how you are. Please stay safe.
Okay. I'm gonna retreat back to our place.
Thumbs up emoji.
Yardak, how much energy is it taking for the two of you to really keep this afloat?
I actually would imagine not too terribly much. One, because there's 2 of us, and 2, that it's just a wave. We're not forming it into anything. It's just a rush of water.
For me, it was more of the idea of having to lift such a heavy item.
But it's not we're lifting it, it's the water lifting it.
Right, but that still expends your energy. So what I am going to occasionally have you do during tonight's game is you're going to have to make fortitude rolls, specifically because as of this point, y'all have been up more, almost 36 hours now.
Really?
I call this Tuesday.
Because you never went to sleep between fighting the feral one and this.
Oh.
Oh.
That was overnight last night. You're it's noon the next day now.
Damn.
You've had a busy 24 hours.
Fuck this day.
I mean, fair, but man, this is just a Tuesday for Lazerhawk.
Getting the shit kicked out of you and just keep it on trucking?
Yeah, getting the shit kicked out of me and not sleeping. And also not calling my son. I gotta get one in every episode.
Until you call him.
Eventually, we're going to figure out you have a son and Ruby will mate you, but you haven't told Ruby.
You're now all getting a call, and that's also why I was wondering how much energy this was taking from you. You're all kind of getting a group call.
I take my phone out and answer.
Yeah, I'm going to yell, put your phones on speaker so I can hear.
I answer again, still on speaker,
It's Agent Kevin Lewis. Hello, can you hear me?
So?
Yep.
We're about to send some strike teams in. I've got one entering the North End. I've got one heading to Palladino Ridge. Are you almost to your destination?
Are we? How close are we?
Echo Base is not too far from Centennial and the reservoir area.
But yeah, we'll be there soon.
All right. Good luck.
Good luck to you too. I saw some video of what's going down at the North End. Not pretty.
I have Ulrich heading there now.
Hey, my boy.
Yeah.
It's important that you know what everyone's up to. Desperate times, desperate measures kind of thing.
I mean, hey, I'm just happy that my boy's gonna get a workout.
You're coming over a hill, and now you can see the water treatment plant and the reservoir. You see water flowing over into the main area. Though you're at a distance, you can see some distinctly Atlantean figures surrounding the semicircle that makes it.
Oh, I'm locking and cocking a solar shotgun.
If you're coming directly from Echo Base, you're going in a northeast direction. And so are you coming straight on, or are you doing anything?
I guess, right on. She's more worried about getting these people to stop right now than the safety of her van.
What is your intention then as you land? Like, what are you doing?
As I'm I guess Ruby's probably going to get out of the van, and
I didn't know if the goal was like to ram it into something.
You know what? Sure, Brandon.
Yes.
At least they're not holding Lazerhawk this time when I try this.
So, is your intention to have Yardak and Yaradamo aim the van, or to have them get it to the ground and just like take off on the ground?
I don't know. I guess the window's open. I said, I want to try and ram this thing into them. Should you guys do that with the water, or should I? Oh, a question. If they did that with the water, is that a team attack?
No, it's a team attack between the two of them, because they would be aiming it.
Okay. Do you want to try to aim it with the water, or I could try driving into them?
Well, if talking about the team attack, we could have Lazerhawk do it all sparkly like and electrify the water and just kind of. Well, first, how many are there?
First off, Lazerhawk does not have electrical powers.
No, but it's like lasery.
That's not the same at all.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Whichever one you guys didn't hit, I was gonna immediately hit with a solar shotgun afterward.
Speaking of lasers, though, I did a project in my tech ed class because I was in the laser unit, because of course that's what I did. And lasers follow water.
What does that have to do with right now?
Oh, even though Lazerhawk doesn't have electric, he has lasers, and lasers follow water. So if he does lasers in the water, they'll follow and they'll go boom.
You're going to just basically use the water to push the car like a giant rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone make a perception check. Or actually, in this case, just Yardak.
15, 8 is 23.
So when you're looking across at the different Atlanteans that are spread out across this reservoir, you can see a couple of the regular soldiers, and you don't get quite a good look at some of the other ones because they're kind of ducking into buildings and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Through one of the windows, you do see Yardane, the leader.
Aim the van at him.
Well, he's in the building, and you're in the van. That would be a little bit of a squish.
Yeah, maybe don't, but also kill him.
More importantly, I'm on top of the van.
Or detain him so we can put him in jail. Whatever.
I'm already kind of second guessing my decision, but fuck it, I'm committed.
But there's how many on the outside part?
They're all spread out, but you can see like 3 or 4 different ones.
Okay. Are there any that are like kind of clumped together, like 2?
The way that this area is laid out, you basically have like long, a little wider than a car lane. It's just a question of which direction you're trying to hit them from, because you're coming in the air right now.
I would say because how has that slope where like the water flows down, kind of just come like up and smash in.
All right, so if that's your goal, roll an attack check, and I'll roll for Yaradama. Lazerhawk will get to make an attack of his own.
Okay, well it's 15 again, and my water is 10, so 25.
You are going to be successful.
Hell yeah!
And what is the DC on that?
25.
So describe to me like what this looks like from this guy's perspective.
Basically, he was like doing his little perimeter walk or whatever on like the little bridge thing there. And he was just going about his business. And of course, there's like water everywhere. So he doesn't really notice water. All of a sudden, he sees at the end there, like the water's rising a little bit. At first, he doesn't take too much notice of it. And then the water just keeps like rising and rising and rising. And of course, there's a big fucking van on top of it. And before he can do anything, it's too late. And the van goes.
Yeah, it smashes him right into the wall. And Ruby, you can feel the van dent in, just because of his sheer dense Atlantean body. And he slams against the wall and his arms go up. And when Yardak and Yaradamo let go of him, he just like slumps onto the ground in a heap.
I wonder if Union has any mechanics.
Yeah, there's like that whole unit of like creating things. I'm sure they could fix a fucking car.
I was also going to say, like, they definitely have a fleet of vehicles. I don't think they're sending it to Pep Boys each time.
Mm-hmm.
And now, again, because of how wide this is, there is not a ton of maneuvering room to move the van like back and forth.
Let's just leave it here for right now.
So the second you smashed into him, the sound definitely alerted the others, and you see a couple other Atlantean soldiers kind of making their way towards you down the lane.
It didn't dent enough that I can't get out, right?
Dented the front in, just like the hood.
So I get out and I make a sword and a dagger, and I stick the dagger in my boot. Actually, I put the dagger in my belt.
I was just thinking about this the other day that Ruby should probably either make or invest in one of those belts that has like the dagger holder on the back.
She probably will by the next game. As long as the next game isn't immediately like 24 hours after this one.
Lazerhawk, do me a favor and do an athletics check.
Yeah, I was about to say, how fucked am I? 19?
So, Ruby, I'm really sorry about your van, but the moment that y'all hit this guy, Lazerhawk dug his hand deep into the van to stay steady. The hand broke straight through the top, and there's a grip indentation now.
Maybe I need a different van for superheroing and for everyday life, because people are going to start noticing if Ruby's van has the same damage.
Ruby, it sure looks like you've been doing a lot of hit and runs lately. So from where you all are, you've got Ruby inside the van making her weapons. You've got Yardak and Yaradamo coming off on either side of the van. Yardak, were you on the passenger side or the driver's side?
Passenger.
You're on the passenger side. Ruby and Yaradamo are on the driver's side, and Lazerhawk is on top. And pretty much most of the enemies that are approaching you are coming from the driver's side.
Me.
We're not going to quite roll initiative yet, but tell me what y'all do immediately after landing.
Click, click, boom.
Okay, you're taking a shot at him?
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of point my sword and say, stand down. Saw what we did to this guy. You don't want that to happen to you.
Okay, so you're doing an intimidation check.
Yeah.
So Lazerhawk, roll your attack.
I just love, you're doing an intimidation check, and she's like, yeah.
Ruby's badass. I didn't say Rachel was.
VA 27.
All right, you definitely hit. What's the DC on that?
24, bud.
And yeah, that solar shotgun blasts across, hits this guy in the chest, and sends him flying back through a window.
She said, slow the fuck down.
All right, roll your intimidation check, Ruby.
That's okay. 17.
It is established that we were blaring,
Beach Boys.
and we had fun till Daddy took the T-bird away.
While they hesitate a little bit, they don't so much retreat as they do get behind cover.
Cowabunga, it shall be.
Yardak, do you do anything? Remember that you are still on the passenger side of the van.
Yeah, how many are on my side compared to how many are on the other side?
You don't see any on your side.
Oh, well then because I'm on the other side, I just immediately scramble over the hood of the van.
Do me a favor, make an acrobatics check.
Ooh, 6. 8 plus 6, 14.
Yeah, you're able to do a nice little hood slide across the van to join the rest of the team.
Cool. Works for me.
This is sort of the last thing that happens before we're going to go into initiative.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the ones who had taken cover breaks out of the cover and jumps off the side railing.
I mean, that's one way to solve that.
And begins to skate along the side.
And I want to very angrily say, fuck, that's cool.
And then he spins himself up, basically into the air above you, and Yardak, make a dodge check.
That's a nat fucking 20. He ain't hitting shit. And my dodge is 10, so that's 30 altogether.
See, you knew it was cool, but you had your eyes on him, so you knew to get out of the fucking way.
That's how I got that. It was respect.
When he was in the air, he brought his two hands together and formed water around them to basically form a giant water knife, and comes down and slices, and you dodged away just in time that he just basically sliced into the concrete ground in front of you and just made a giant cut right through it.
Damn, okay. That was gonna fuck me up.
That was the plan, I think. And yeah, everybody roll initiative. So right now you have one guy who's really close to you and a group of them that are a little further away behind cover.
Oh, fuck yeah.
17.
23.
28.
Lazerhawk, It is your turn. You're still on top of the van, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
The dented van.
So the dude who just tried to attack Yardak is like literally right next to the van, right?
Yeah. Yardak had just finished doing his hood slide, so he had just crossed over to the driver's side.
It is now time to use my second professional wrestling move in the history of this. The double stomp to the back of the head.
What does that entail?
I jump up, and I just stomp on the dude's head like I'm Mario. But I want to taser fist my feet.
Okay, so if that's the case, it's going to be a taser fist, but with a little bit of an attack penalty.
Yeah, I think that's how we did it last time I did this.
This sounds a lot like the missile drop kick.
It basically is the missile drop kick, but instead of like kicking outward, I'm kicking down.
All right, roll to fall with style.
I mean, you're right. Oh, fuck me, yes. That would be... How much of a penalty are we doing?
I'm going to do actually a -2.
Okay, in that case, I am at a 27.
What's the DC on that?
That one's gonna be a 25.
All right, describe to me what it looks like.
I just sort of jump up, cock my feet up to my chest, get to this dude's head, and then thrust down with the force of God, causing a giant eruption of neon-colored sparks.
So you kick him right in the head, and he goes slamming into the wall and falls in a heap just like his brother.
Mamma mia.
Here we go again. So, yeah, this guy is down. Lazerhawk, that is going to count as both your move and your attack in this case.
I'm okay with that.
Everyone make a perception check real quick.
26.
15.
I also got 26.
I'm noticing things. My eyes are peeled.
Ruby was just too distracted by the damage to her van.
Some shit's going down. I don't know what to tell you.
Yardak and Lazerhawk do notice in the distance now that Yardane has gotten like to the top of the reservoir area, and he is flanked by 2 of his guys.
I've got a cool idea for my next turn. Speaking of free action, right?
And it is worth keeping in mind, like, they're in a pretty far distance from you. Or Lazerhawk might be able to pulsar Pogo that far.
That's what I was thinking.
But again, they are pretty far from you overall. So it is your turn then, Yardak.
So they're far away.
Yeah, but all of the other kind of soldier guys are pretty close by.
If I'm looking out towards them, like, how are they looking to me? Like, how many, and like, are they behind things? Like,
yeah, they are behind. They are all behind cover. You can kind of get a sense of where they are. Like, you can see like one's foot and one's shoulder. Like, they're behind various pieces of equipment and whatnot along this walkway.
okay, I want to have my spear in my hands to make it appear as like I'm going to be like brandishing my spear and using that as an attack.
Okay.
But what I want to do is like while using my hands to like move the spear around, I'm actually taking the water that's like flowing down the sides. I'm going to use that to bring it up over the sides and smash into them.
Okay, they're not all grouped together. So like, are you trying to just smash into one, or
are there any that are like even like a dude that's by another one, or are they all kind of separated? Because then I'll just like pick a random.
They're separated by a good bit, but there's probably there's like probably the 2 closest to you are like semi-grouped together.
Okay, well then I'll go for those 2.
Parallel with each other, I guess is the phrase I would use.
Yeah, because it's going to be coming up and over, like straight across.
Okay, so I want you to do all right, so let's do a deception roll then.
Okay. 12 plus 9 is 21.
Roll your attack.
15 plus 10, 25.
Okay, and you're doing this as a multi-attack to hit 2 of them though, right?
Oh, yeah, true. So what, -2?
-2, and then you're going to roll a second one with -2 as well.
Okay, so the first one is 23. And then 17 plus 10 is 27, -2 is 25. So 23 for the first one, 25 for the second.
Yeah, okay, so you hit both of them. And yeah, you send them smashing also through another window. Basically, there's a bunch of different buildings along this path.
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing them like turrets on a castle.
Yes, that's a great example. Like basically, yeah, it's basically like one long wall / walkway, like, you know, with the water on one side and a bunch of little outposts and buildings throughout on the other side. And so, yeah, you smash them and they went straight flying through that window.
Get lit.
And are you going to do anything else?
No, I did some work.
All right, so you're just going to stick with the crew?
Yeah. Getting to it once is pretty nice, but I feel like they probably won't fall for that trick a second time, so we have to really take care of these guys.
Speaking to take care of these guys, we both noticed a guy up there, right? My point.
Yeah, but we have very pressing issues here, though.
Ruby looks up. Oh, no. Huh, good to know.
Ruby, it is your turn.
Is anyone at a stabbing distance?
Not even close. In fact, Yardak just took out the two closest guys to you.
Sorry.
How close are the other people?
You would not be able to reach them this turn, but if you used your whole turn to do movement, you could like get over there and kind of get near some cover to prepare yourself for the next one.
Ruby, can you learn how to throw knives?
I mean, you could throw knives now, really.
Well, what I was going to try to do is maybe make... I have an idea that's a variation on making a box.
Okay.
But what if I make a box above them and try to land, like right above them, and try to have it land on them?
Yeah. You've done this before, by the way.
I have?
The very first game we ever played.
Ah.
What does the item you're creating look like?
Just a giant... Are there, like, two standing together, or are they all, like, kind of separated?
No, these ones are all kind of separated, all behind different forms of cover.
Okay, it's just gonna be like a giant rock slab, like rectangular shape, and Ruby's just going to create it right above them, or maybe a little bit above them, so it will fall on them, and hopefully knock them the fuck out.
Okay. What is your create rank?
My create rank is 4.
All right, because it's considered an area attack when you do it that way, so they get a dodge attempt. Okay, let's see how they fare. Oh, wow. This drops onto them, but they realize just in time and like throw themselves onto the ground. Like not quite enough time. They throw themselves on the ground and thrust their arms and legs up and basically catch it. But they are caught basically beneath it now. So it is pressing down on them, but he's just kind of holding it in place.
Make it heavy.
Drop another.
That's what my thought was too.
Are you going to do that as a power stunt now?
Honestly, yes, can I? Yeah, I'll do it as a power stunt and use my hero point so I won't be fatigued.
So let's roll another one. Because he was definitely like caught by it now. And yeah, basically the second one comes down and smashes the other one. And just kind of, it doesn't like, it's not going to like cartoon flatten him, but he is like strewn, flattened on the ground and unconscious.
And then Ruby goes, ding dong, the witch is dead.
So, all right, so that's your whole turn then?
Yeah.
And you use your hero point to keep yourself from getting exhausted.
Yep.
So how many dudes are left on the little bridge thing?
As far as you can see from right now, there are 3 guys left.
Including the people above us?
No. 3 people just on your level.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, now Yaradamo goes charging towards them, but realizes he's not going to get close enough in time before they can attack, so he dodges behind some cover and whips out his spear. So he is behind cover, not too far from them now. And one of the enemies actually comes out from behind their cover and dives towards him. And the guy basically shoves Yaradamo and then goes back behind their own cover.
Just runs up and went, ugh.
And then moments later, Yaradamo basically just begins sparking electricity.
Oh?
So he can make electricity, but Lazerhawk can't?
That was never part of my power array.
Yes, thank you. Everyone make a perception roll again.
I see fucking nothing. I rolled a 6 and I have 10. I did that math in my head.
20.
17.
Lazerhawk and Yardak are just a little more of a keen eye tonight, or today.
This is right after I put shit in there. Like...
When this guy went and shoved him and got back behind cover, what he actually did was place 2 runes onto him.
Oh.
One is is basically like that shuriken you saw before in that kind of bluish color. And the other one is similar, but it's glowing red. And it's just arcing this electricity all over him. Yaradamo like looks back towards you, and then you can basically just see his eyes close and roll back behind his head, and he falls over the side of the reservoir.
Oh, God.
Fuck.
If you kill another person...
And then the other guys basically like just kind of advance up to where their friend who just did that is. So like there's still 3 of them.
So Ruby didn't see any of that, right?
I'm going to assume that she saw him fall off the edge, but she didn't catch the rune part of it.
Okay.
Or the electricity, really.
They're all behind cover then.
Mm-hmm.
Cards on the table. I'm planning on saving my point to get to the dickhead up there once we take out a few more of these guys.
Okay.
But yeah, what shit are they behind?
Basically, like, a lot of equipment, like forklifts, barrels, things like that.
Would I be able to use Pulsar Pogo to get a little further than my move action would regularly allow me to?
Yeah.
And I'd still be able to attack after that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm about to get revenge.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm gonna Pulsar Pogo over to where I can hit the dickhead that just fucking ruined Yaradamo's day, and I'm going to ruin his day tenfold with a solar shotgun square to the chest.
All right, he's facing away from you, so you're about to hit him in the back.
Good.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna aim for that.
I didn't think you would mind. I just thought I'd let you know.
Just want to let you know you're being dishonorable.
He's not a Klingon. Who gives a shit? Like,
I'm the anti-hero of the group. I will happily beam him in the back of a nugget.
Roll your attack.
Oh, you're not gonna make me roll anything for Pulsar?
No, it's a movement.
Okay, fucking groovy. Alright.
Yeah, you're not like pushing yourself or anything to hop 50 feet or whatever you're doing.
Alright. 30. 19 plus 11.
Okay, and what's the DC on that?
That would be 24, bud.
Same thing, basically. This guy, like, smashes into the forklift he's hiding behind, hits his head really hard, and just slumps onto the ground.
Good night, asshole.
Yardak, it's your turn then.
I had an idea, but I don't think it'll work.
What is your idea?
Because if they fell into the reservoir, so that means like Yardane was in the water.
Correct.
Because I know I need my hands to heal, but he's like in a whole ass thing of water. If I could like power stunt a heal from a distance.
You are not a fucking priest. Oh, power stunt, that's different. I thought you were about to like fucking bless the goddamn reservoir and heal your buddy.
These aren't the rains down in Africa.
But yeah, no, it was specifically a power stunt.
Okay, and I guess you're going to use your hero point to recover?
Or what I could do is, might have to be a power stunt, like use the water to bring his body back up to me.
I would let you do that as a full action. Doesn't have to be a power stunt. Since you're just like reaching into the water and grabbing something.
Okay, then yeah, I'll do that then for my turn.
Describe to me what it looks like. And also do roll water control.
Yeah. 13 plus 10 is 23.
Yeah, this is even in the midst of battle, like you got a good hold on him.
And it's a lot more gentle than all the other, like, it's not like a big crash of a wave. It's just very much like, you know, like how, like, it's like a non-corporeal bubble kind of.
You're basically like floating him on a waterbed.
But yeah, and it like just kind of like gently puts him on the ground in front of me.
Yeah, so you get Yaradamo. He is like, I assume you're bringing him pretty close to you.
Yeah. I don't think it would count as an attack, but can I give him like a slap on the cheek, try to wake him up at least?
So yeah, you smack him. He doesn't really respond though.
Okay. I was hoping. But, you know, whatevs. Okay, that's it. That's my turn.
And then if that's the case, it is Ruby's turn again.
I'm guessing none of them have, like, moved up closer to me, right?
They moved a bit closer, yeah. Like, they're within moving distance of you now.
Stab them.
I'm trying to decide, do I stab them, or do I try to blind them?
Stab at them blindly.
No, don't stab blindly. That's a bad choice.
Oh, my God.
Ruby constantly trying to avoid killing the criminals in her city, but just stabs the first fucking Atlantean that comes bad near her.
In fairness, they're trying to kill us first.
You don't think that's what the Blue Cross gang was trying to do?
Yeah, but these guys are like trying to super kill us.
That's fair. They're committing super crime.
Super crime.
I'm going to move up to whichever one is closest, and you know what? I'm hoping they'll think I'm going to go for a stab because they can see the sword, and I don't think they know what my powers are. And then I'm psych. Razzle dazzle. I throw my hands up.
Razzle dazzle. So I need to roll. What is the DC on that?
The DC on or the razzle and dazzle is.
And it is worth mentioning. It is within visual range. So technically, you can hit both of these guys with that.
Ooh, we'll do that.
I almost wonder if we need to get Ruby some goggles. Like if she can end up blinding herself at some point.
Can I make goggles?
No. Well, I guess not very good ones.
Maybe we could make goggles that kind of like have the same color as my mask.
That's an idea.
15.
All right, difficulty class of 15 on Razzle Dazzle. Basically, when that burst of light goes off, the one guy is blinking a lot. He seems a little out of it. The other one, his eyes basically went full on grayed over.
Hey.
Oh.
And he is like swiping at the air around him. He knows you're nearby, but he can't see anything.
Did I have to use all of my movement action to go up to him?
Pretty much, like you could probably move like 3 feet left.
Okay, I'm going to move like 3 feet back.
Okay, so you back away a little bit as he swipes at nothing.
Yeah, because so he can swipe at nothing instead of me.
Okay, and so it would be Yaradamo's turn, but he's nappy time.
Not dead.
So the one guy who is blinded, like he kind of hears you step back, Ruby, and he tries to take a swipe at you and misses wildly.
Hey!
However, his other buddy is blinking away and seeming like he's back to normal.
Boo.
And he actually walks over towards you, and similar to the guy who initially attacked Yardak, he like forms the water around his arm and slices at you.
Do I get to dodge or anything?
What is your dodge plus 10?
Plus 10 is 21?
Yeah, he makes full on contact with you.
Boo.
So you're gonna roll a toughness check.
Is she too far away for interpose?
Yeah, not close enough.
Sorry.
19.
So like he like slashes right through your jacket and cuts your shoulder, and you're gonna take a -1 toughness.
Okay.
But grand scheme wise, you're all right. It is worth mentioning that because he's a minion, he doesn't get to take advantage of this, but he did crit.
Oof.
Minions don't get to take advantage of that ability though, so.
Good.
Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that. So yeah, it is Lazerhawk's turn.
I mean, I'm gonna solar shotgun the dude who just slashed at Ruby. What a dick.
Okay, roll to hit.
23?
And what is the DC?
24 most.
You hit him and it singes him in the back, but he stays up and he just like turns at you with a like a rageful look in his eye.
Come on. Come on.
And do you do anything else?
So I'm gonna like kind of move toward him, arms outstretched, like, come on, dickhead, to kind of get the heat off Ruby.
Yeah, rip roaring for a fight.
Actually,
It's because you've never fought Yardak. You've always wondered how it would go.
would I be able to use an intimidation check, or can I not do that because I already rolled an attack?
You can extra effort, but yeah, because intimidation would be a standard action.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that.
Okay, Yardak, your turn again.
Healing Yaradamo immediately.
All right, roll a healing check.
22.
So he is healing, and he wakes up, and he kind of just like starts pulling at the runes that are like stuck to his chest,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like gasping, like.
Am I able to yank them off, or will that hurt me?
Roll a strength check.
11, 8, 19.
Yeah, you're able to rip them off. The second you rip them off, you start to feel just like both the electrical pulse and also the lack of water control that you did last time.
Oh, I just like immediately just fucking like chuck it like there's a bug on my hand.
Okay, I imagine they go over the edge into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the color immediately like comes back to his cheeks and everything. Like he looks, his wounds heal up. He's looking a lot better.
Okay, good.
I couldn't breathe.
Oh, I mean, damn good thing I got him out of the fucking water then. Wouldn't that be a bitch for Atlantic to drown? How far apart are Ruby and Lazerhawk?
How far apart are Ruby and Lazerhawk?
Yeah.
So Ruby is right next to the enemies who are about like 30 feet from you, and Lazerhawk is probably like an additional 15 feet behind that.
Okay, then I'm going to run up to at least where Ruby is. And then does taking defense count as an action or no?
Yeah, it is a standard action.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to like run up with her.
Okay, so you basically like you're right next to Ruby now?
Yeah.
So you've got one guy who can't see on one side of you, and then the other one who was just attacked by Lazerhawk on the other side of you.
Mm.
And he's looking back towards Lazerhawk now, and they're about to bro it out.
Oh yeah, dude.
All right, so if that's your turn, then Ruby, it is your turn again.
Okay. So I'm thinking the one guy who just tried to take a swipe at me is kind of distracted by Lazerhawk right now, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go after the blind one. I want to try to stab the blind one. Ooh, I put a lot into the blades. I think this is gonna hit.
Put a lot into the blade.
While y'all were out there partying, Ruby was studying the blade.
No, it's like 33.
Damn.
Oh, okay, yeah, you fucked shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also got a -5 penalty to not being able to see. So you hit him straight on. What's the DC on that?
My create rank is 4, so that should
19.
yeah.
Where do you stab him?
Stomach.
Oh,
Because I imagine he's still like kind of trying to swipe for me.
yeah.
So I think I was kind of dodging like his arms, and then just kind of went for the middle.
Okay, yeah, you slice him right down the middle, and he falls down in a heap next to his friend.
God, do you twist it before you pull it out, too? Shit.
Yeah, maximum damage.
Do you do anything else with your turn?
I maybe move closer to like where Lazerhawk is. Get closer to my teammates.
Like, basically, y'all are pincering this last guy who's left.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, like, Yardak back where you just were, you in between Lazerhawk, and then Lazerhawk all surrounding this guy. And Yaradamo now gets back up onto his feet and makes his way, like, to where Yardak is. This last guy goes to do one of those full arm swipes with the water at Lazerhawk. What's your dodge plus 10?
That'd be a 16.
So, yeah, he hits you. So roll a toughness check.
31.
So, yeah, he comes down and he slices you hard across the chest, but you are basically, like, powering through it and you don't even notice.
Hey, buddy. You hit like a flounder.
Hey out there. So as I mentioned last time, we are on the tail end of Season 1 now, and I'd really love to hear feedback about the show. I am including a link in our show notes to this episode on masksandmayhem.com, and I'll also be putting it out there on our social media profiles, but it's just a little survey, basically, about the show, the characters, the players, everything. Again, we want to continue making this podcast, and we would love to know how we can make it better. But for now, let's get back to the game. It is Lazerhawk's turn, then.
So, you know how I keep on channeling my taser fist through my feet for kicks?
Okay.
Then I'm gonna punch him square in the face.
Okay. Roll to hit.
That's a nat 20. 30 altogether.
DC.
DC 25, buddy.
And so what are you doing with your crit? Adding +5 to your effect or adding some other ability to it?
Whichever one will help me knock him out faster. I guess I'm gonna add +5 to my effect.
So a flurry of laser just envelops your hand as you smack this guy across the head, and he like hits his head against barrels that are next to him and just flops right onto the ground.
Alright.
At least in your immediate area, that is all the guys.
I'm gonna turn to my teammates and say, so you mind if I get the guy up there?
Yeah, I got a plan.
Go for it.
And I pulsar pogo away.
All right, and he's like 3 stories up and a decent amount of distance away from y'all, but your pulsar pogo is pretty hefty. Where do you land exactly? It's a pretty wide open, flat top roof.
So yeah, in a single bound, just flurry of lasers spark out from my feet as I jump up to the bridge surface area, whatever you want to call it. I superhero land, kind of stand back up, point and say, hey, slow down, you're a dickhead.
Yardane, the robed leader of the Atlantean extremists, turns towards you with a cocked eyebrow. Ah, our light show friend. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. You gonna give up easy? Or are we gonna have fun tonight?
Oh, I assure you, there will be no fun tonight.
Agree to disagree. So are you gonna do that thing that you assholes do where you monologue for a while? Or are we gonna fucking do this?
Oh, I believe we're going to do this. What are Yardak, Yaradamo, and Ruby doing?
I'm gonna turn to them and be like, how do we get up there?
I think Yardamo's going to look at you and say, you said you had a plan, Yardak. What is it?
I changed it now that I realize we have to get Ruby up there too. But the exact same thing we did with the van. And we just kind of whoop with some water up to the roof there.
Can I get a piggyback ride up there?
I guess, yeah. Hop on, monkey.
Okay, so y'all are basically heading up to the top now with your water?
Yeah.
While they're going up there, Ruby is humming Surfing USA.
All right, I imagine that's happening simultaneous with this next moment. So that's when Yardane turns around and goes, I'm sorry, brothers. And he reaches out and he puts his hands along the foreheads of the two gentlemen who scream out as he basically tears them apart.
What the fuck?
What it does is it actually forms a water Goliath of its own.
Oh, so he's separate, but there is a water Goliath.
Yes.
Okay.
What the fuck?
So is this just like a 2-person Goliath? Like is this like a proper Goliath, or are we basically fighting Andre the Giant water?
I mean, I would say this thing is like 2 stories tall.
Well, fuck, okay.
It doesn't have the same kind of armor that he did when he transformed earlier today.
And thank you for that.
I have an idea.
Earlier today, Jesus fuck.
And so, yeah, you're just about at the top now, right as this thing has formed.
As soon as we land... Okay, first question is, you said, he, quote, tore them apart. Are they dead?
I don't know how to answer that question, and Yardak has no way of being certain.
So what I wanted to do, as we're in the process of landing, turn to yell to Yardamo, we have to tear it apart. So then we each kind of, where instead of coming together, we kind of go opposite and just kind of try to rip this beast apart.
Okay, if you want to try to roll an attack check, Yardamo can assist you.
Yeah, it would be the two of us together. Okay, so 15, 20, 10, 25.
So basically, when you go to try to do this, Yardane sends a whip of water to grab Yaradamo by the throat and throw him into you.
Oh, rude. Okay.
To kind of end up on the ground, next to each other. You're not out, but he knocked you over.
I assume, am I on the ground too then?
No. I mean, I assumed that you, when you guys landed, you got down.
I don't think you just continued to hang on.
I wasn't sure if you actually landed or if you guys had just from the water just kept going towards it.
Was saying it as we were landing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that way we can do it as soon as we touch the roof.
Moments later, this thing turns and jumps off the side of the building back to the area you were just down below. Yeah, so Yardane is just looking at you with a fury in his eyes. You will not interfere again.
I have an idea of what this thing is going to do. I feel like it's going to fucking break the reservoir and flood everything.
We just got up here. Ruby's tired. I don't
Yeah, this actually is a good point. Everyone roll a fortitude check.
The second you said those words, I was like, no, we haven't had any rolls yet. Okay.
21.
That's an 11 plus 17 altogether.
22.
Okay, so you're all actually okay then. You're tired, but it hasn't started impacting you materially.
Well, actually, I'm going to look at Yardak and say, you and your buddy would probably be really useful against that water Goliath. I feel like I can take Yara butt lunch.
Do we want to chance that?
Do we want a chance leaving that Goliath to do whatever?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Ruby can be up here with you too.
Yeah, I'll stay up here. I'll help Lazerhawk out.
I look at Ruby and say, appreciate the backup, Vizual. And I spark up my fists.
I hold my sword up.
Are we in any sort of initiative right now, or can I just...
Not at this very second. I was going to say, we're probably going to, depending on what you did next.
Because I had an idea for a power stunt.
Okay, what's your idea?
And it involves Yaradamo. So we need to get down to where Homeboy is. Home thing?
Home club.
Yeah, home flub. Basically, using the wave-ish idea again, but more of kind of turning us into human missiles, where we kind of bead the fuck up and just smash into this water body thing.
Yeah, so if you want to roll that as an attack, I'll have Yaradamo do the same thing. I think, yeah, you're going to look at each other and kind of nod you both know what the other's thinking. Because you're connected and close and shit.
Yeah. 18 plus 10 is a 28.
So, and what is your DC on your water?
25.
Basically, how do I put this? Yaradamo failed hard.
Oh.
You succeeded hard, though.
Okay.
As Yaradamo is coming, this thing turns up and sees him and just smacks him out of the air.
This poor guy's taking a beating.
I know. He's supposed to be is he just rolling really badly? He's supposed to be a soldier.
You smash right through this thing. You go into it and then out the other side.
Mm.
It does seem to kind of roar in pain.
Mm.
But then the water forms back in to fill the hole that you just made.
Okay.
And I'm going to say with how well you did, though, that you landed fine on your feet.
Cool. I'll take that.
All right, everyone roll initiative. And we're kind of doing like a split initiative in a way.
Yeah, it'll be 2 separate fights.
25, bud.
I figured out how Ruby's tiredness is coming.
How's that?
Because I just crit failed initiative.
Oh, not much better. I got a 2.
6 overall for initiative.
At least I have a good modifier because mine's 11.
So my initiative is currently 6.
I still have my hero point.
Hey, I don't.
I'm about to rock this guy's shit so hard.
When the guy's not his water Goliath self, he's like normal height, right?
Yeah, he's probably like Yardak's height, like 6 feet tallish.
Yeah, I mean, like he's the height of like a humanoid.
And he's just wearing his nice gold and blue and green robes.
Gonna fuck them up.
Yeah, he's kind of got his hood pulled above his head.
Gonna fuck that hood up too.
So yeah, it is Lazerhawk's turn.
I've seen what this guy can do.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to take any chances. I've got this hero point.
Okay.
We're gonna rock his shit with Megasonic Missile.
Oh, just right out of the gate.
Oh yeah, dude, we're pulling the sands. I'm leading with my strongest attack. 27.
Okay.
With a DC of 25. Is that a good oh wow for me or a bad oh wow for me?
So you have multi-attack on that. I didn't know if you wanted to try and do multi-attack to a single target.
God, that'd be fucking neato. I'm assuming I wouldn't also be able to hit the water Goliath, huh?
No, because you can't really see it, is the harder part here.
Yeah, worth asking.
And what was your total for your hit?
27.
Okay, so yeah, if you're doing it as multi-attack, you'll get a +2 to the resistance of it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Describe to me what Megasonic Missile looks like again.
So essentially, I sort of, like, for flavor text, jump up in the air, kind of move my arms back, thrust my arms forward with as much force as I can, and, depending on how many I'm shooting off, in this case, 2 brilliant beams of light that look like missiles go flying toward the opponent, and ideally it wrecks their shit.
Before we reveal the results here, what does it say that it is for you? I know it's to resist with fortitude.
Yeah, it's a fortitude, side effect, damage 10, alternative resistance, fortitude, -2 rank.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna roll a fortitude resistance.
Can do. 26.
You're not really hurt by it.
Neat.
Meanwhile, the 2 missiles slam into him, and throw him back, and he skids, not off the edge of the building, but like towards the edge. And his robe is just like disintegrated.
Hey, we fucked it up!
Hey, bud. I told you this would be fun.
And you see a big, like, black, like, soot mark, basically, like, covering, like, half of him.
Can't handle your lasers, can you, buddy? Hell of a show I put on, though, ha!
And he's got a bit of a head wound that's bleeding. As I mentioned before, an impressive light show.
Act like I didn't just knock your ass from here to Calcutta.
What are both of your dodge checks? Ruby and Lazerhawk?
21.
Yeah, 16.
So for both of you, I'm going to need you to make fortitude resistance checks.
Nat 20 for 27.
23, if I'm doing my math right.
Sorry, I said fortitude. I meant will. What would the total be?
Oh, same. Actually, I have the same in them, so still 22.
That'd be a 22 for me.
Actually, Lazerhawk, you feel it for a moment, Ruby, but it doesn't, it kind of passes. You just resist it. Lazerhawk, you feel your arms moving of their own accord.
What the fuck?
Excuse me?
You see a manic look in Yardane's eye. And suddenly you feel your arms snap back behind yourself.
What the fuck is it with my arms?
Make one more will check.
Uh-oh.
Roll well.
6.
You feel your legs pull themselves out from underneath you and you land chin first on the ground. After this moment of him just on the ground looking at you, he calmly stands up, brushes the soot off of himself, and has returned to his calm demeanor.
I need you to understand how hard I'm gonna kick your ass.
And how are you going to do that? From all the way down there. Yes, so now it is Yaradamo's turn.
From wherever he landed.
He just went like smashing into a tower and now is like back on his feet. Because you healed him up good. You're a good guy. So Yaradamo like gets himself back up on his feet and basically like rides the wave down to meet you where you are.
Mm-hmm. No smacking through the air this time?
No, because he doesn't like try to hit this thing. He just tries to like basically like slide over to where you are. It was like a water zip line, basically.
Ooh, I like that.
So yeah, Yaradama looks up and he goes, "What are we going to do now?"
Okay, this thing is made of water, so I don't really feel like much is going to hurt it. Let's freeze it.
Hey.
So that is not an ability that Yaradamo has.
Instead of like putting both my hands out in front of me, like how Ruby would razzle dazzle, but instead of like a stream of water, it's just kind of like a blizzard.
Okay, so you're just basically again trying to freeze all the air in front of you.
Yeah, I don't know why, but like my brain thought like I had to be like up on him to try to freeze him and like grab his leg and like that's what would freeze him. But I would just do like a whoosh.
Okay, so do like a water whip attack.
Okay, 16 plus 10 is 26. DC is 25.
And so the bottom of him begins to freeze.
Okay.
And it seems kind of like confused for a moment, like stuck in place trying to move. And only the top half is mobile still.
Okay.
And Yaradamo is kind of like using his water to like create like a spin cycle around the top half to kind of distract it.
Yeah.
And what it does next, though, basically the top half of it flows out, leaving the bottom half behind.
Okay. Is it smaller then now?
Yeah, it's smaller now.
Okay.
And so then what it does is it kind of just flubs down onto the ground and goes past you.
Okay.
And goes over the edge into the reservoir.
Oh, nope, don't like that.
The second that it touches the water, everything begins to glow a very bright fluorescent blue.
Oh, yep, it's exactly what I didn't want.
Immediately after the water begins glowing, it begins to start swirling around it.
Oh, no.
And that is the Goliath's turn. It is Ruby's turn now.
Hey, I'm finally ready to go.
After watching something weird happen to Lazerhawk.
Yeah, so assuming Ruby is like, oh, that guy's doing it, so Ruby is going to run up and do razzle dazzle.
Okay.
And Ruby's thinking that it's like, oh, if he's blinded, he'll probably break his concentration or whatever's happening to Lazerhawk.
Fingers crossed.
And what is the DC on that again? I think it's 14?
It's 15.
So I imagine you're getting pretty up close to do this.
Fairly.
The moment that your hands start to light up, he dashes forward and basically does like a kung fu block to like move your hands out of the way and like looks in the opposite direction.
Rude. Devil's advocate here, just doing that and having to focus on that, would that break his concentration or whatever he's doing to Lazerhawk?
Do you want to roll a perception check?
Yes. I see some things. 17.
So yeah, you can see that the moment he did that Lazerhawk is like still on the ground, but not like contorting himself in the same way.
You know what? Did what I needed it to do, and then I'm going to move away from him. Back to Lazerhawk.
Roll a dodge check.
I think my dodge is really high, and I rolled pretty well, so... 14 plus 11 is 25.
So after he did the block, he attempts to go and like sweep the leg beneath you, but you see it coming just in time and dodge out of the way.
Can I imagine that like he tries to do a sweep and I like jump up?
Like Matrix style?
Yeah! That's exactly what's going through Ruby's mind, but in reality, she just jumped.
So you land. So you don't really get to quite make it back to Lazerhawk just because of that extra time, but you're able to move back a little bit. Lazerhawk, it is your turn.
I have perm fighting, and I'm kind of pissed off now. I'm gonna hit him in the chest with a solar shotgun. 25.
And the DC on that again?
24.
So, once again, like, you have now caught him in the other side and have singed him. He's got that manic look back in his eyes again. Like he had just finished dealing with Ruby, and now he's dealing with your shit again.
Hey, buddy.
Do you do anything else with your turn?
Can I get up?
Yeah, you can get up. If you would want to, you can do an acrobatics check of a DC of 20 to stand as a free action.
Oh, let's do that. Acrobatics, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a 17 plus 7.
Oh, then you're fine. Yeah, you totally kip yourself up onto your feet, so you did that as a free action. You still have your move action then.
Yeah, I'm gonna close the distance as much as I can because I'm gonna try and draw the heat off Ruby again because she's squishier than me.
That's fair. You would tank.
Yeah.
That's your turn then. It is now Yardane's turn. Yardane is going to engage you in fisticuffs.
Bring it, bitch.
Make a strength check.
17.
Yeah, so he grabs you by the arm and kind of like has you by the wrist.
Okay.
And then he brings the other arm that he has down with a water slice. Roll for toughness.
32.
So your arm is bleeding, but you are just grunting and fighting through the pain.
This is fine.
And he also does one more thing.
Is it kiss my ass?
Nope.
Damn.
Make a fortitude check.
22.
So yeah, he reaches and puts 3 fingers against your chest. For a few moments, you feel your heart stop.
Wouldn't be the first time. Won't be the last time. I should really call my kid. So congratulations, Ruby. You finally heard that I have a kid.
Wait, you have a kid?
Can we talk about this later?
Yes, but what?
And with that, you're going to take a -1 penalty to future checks. So now it's Yaradamo's turn. Yaradamo looks at you, Yardak, and says, "This can't be good."
I don't know how we can stop a whole reservoir. You can't just like pull a plug and drain it.
He puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, "Together. If we get on either side of it, we could attempt to pull in the opposite direction."
Like what we tried to do upstairs?
It's not the only thing in control of water here.
Okay, so then yeah, I guess we jump in the fucking water.
And so what this thing begins doing is it begins like everything around it begins spinning in a sort of vortex.
Okay.
You notice that the concrete around the edge of the reservoir is starting to crack.
No. Hero point, no.
So what are you doing now? Yeah, he followed you. You both dived into the water. I'm going to say that Yaradama basically delayed his turn and is following your lead.
Seeing as how I don't know or can't think of how to handle the wall cracking right now, I'm just going to have Yaradamo and I go after the creature thing in the water.
How are you going after? Like, what are you trying to do to it?
As soon as we get there, basically, now that it's smaller, I want us to try to do the whole pulling it apart thing.
All right, roll a water attack.
Can it swim as fast as us underwater, being that it is a creation, or because I can swim stupid fast?
You don't know.
So, Yaradamo and I can both swim very fast. I know I sure as fuck can. And I want us to swim at this thing as fast as we can, and then I want him to like get it in like a bear hold, and as he grips what he can, I also want to take the top part of it and keep swimming. Basically like a clothesline, but I want to rip it apart.
Okay, roll for it. And I'll have him assist.
Oh, hell yeah, 17 plus 10.
All right, and he's going to add an extra layer to that, and...
Don't fail this time.
So basically, as you dive towards the thing, when you use your water control, you catch it at just the right moment, and basically, as you were trying to do, it basically tears it in half, and it is at that moment that basically the water goes back to its normal color.
Okay. Like, all of it around us?
Yeah, everything around it goes back to its normal color.
Okay.
And you can no longer, like, feel the presence of any other resistance in the water.
Ooh, okay. So is it considered dead?
I mean, yeah, I'm saying, like, as far as you can tell, this thing is not there anymore.
Okay, I didn't know if I was, like, still kind of, like, trying to stick around here, or if we're gonna then, well, I mean, we've already used our movement, but then try to make it back to them.
However, those cracks that were forming begin to get significantly bigger.
No.
And just suddenly starts crumbling down, and the water is starting to spill out towards the rest of Riverside.
Oh, no. Can we try to be...
What you choose to do will be referenced on your turn. It is, however, Ruby's turn.
What up? So I'm still on the roof, right?
Yeah, you're still on the roof. Yardane is now holding Lazerhawk and just kind of slicing and bashing him, and also stopped his heart for a moment.
One of his hands is holding Lazerhawk, right?
Yeah, so Yardane has his right hand holding Lazerhawk's left hand, and then Yardane's left hand did the chest thing.
Okay, I'm still holding my sword.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to go for the slicey at the arm that is holding Lazerhawk.
Okay, roll for it.
Not the best roll.
Shit.
I put a lot of ranks into the blade, so it's not terrible. 23 overall.
He moves out of the way, and what is your parry plus 10?
19.
All right, make a strength check.
Okay, I rolled better on that. 22.
So he sees you coming, dodges out of the way, uses his other hand to grab the sword, and thrusts it into Lazerhawk.
What?
So Lazerhawk, and then you're going to need to make a toughness check.
25.
She definitely stabs you, but once again, you are very resilient.
This is the fucking pincushion.
Did she say she stabbed you? I did not stab him.
I mean, that's fair. Ruby's sword stabs you while she is still holding it. Yarkaven was not kidding when he said this guy is very dangerous.
I didn't doubt that, but that's fucking brutal.
He didn't take any more damage, at least. Ruby, are you doing anything else?
I can't get away from him, right? Because he's holding me now.
He is holding the sword, which is now sticking into... You can let go of the sword, I guess. It's your... Dropping your weapon is a free action.
Is dissolving him a 3 action?
Yeah, I guess we could say that. I can say that you remove the sword from the situation.
Yeah, the sword goes away.
I'm going to say that was your move then.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. What does he think about the sword going away? I'm curious.
Yeah, you both can tell that he is unfazed by this.
Damn, I want to at least surprise him, impress him. I don't fucking know.
You want to impress him?
I want to impress the bad guy and then beat him up.
To be fair, he did dissolve 2 guys as his first move when you got here.
Look, maybe he doesn't think us pesky humans can do the same shit as he can. Even though there's a shit ton of superheroes. Because he might just be an idiot.
So yeah, it's Lazerhawk's turn now.
Ruby's gonna go, sorry about that.
Well, when in doubt, go with all reliable. I'm gonna try and break free and kick him as hard as I can in the balls.
Okay, make a strength check.
I have questions about Atlantean anatomy. Are they located in the same place?
We're about to find out. Yeah, I got a nat 20, so that's a 23 altogether.
You easily, flipped your wrist around and got out of his grasp.
And yeah, I'm gonna taser hope him straight in the fucking balls.
Alright, roll your attack.
24, because of -1.
DC on that?
Does that have a -1 as well? Or is that just...
No.
Okay, neat, then 25.
Yeah, he takes a hard hit straight in the nads.
Right in the nads.
And how does he react to that?
That surprised him and angered him. Just as I thought, you humans do not fight with honor.
I'm sorry, you think weirdly controlling his arms is honorable? Shut the fuck up.
Oh. Yeah, Ruby has gotten very mouthy recently with her cussing.
She's fucking tired.
Everyone roll a fortitude check.
I thought it was like roll a perception to see how mad he is that I cussed at him.
21.
25.
16.
Yeah, you're all still fine. You haven't the effects of your long day have not quite stopped you from continuing.
My arm hurts too much for me to be sleepy.
Ruby Anrish was curious. Did anything she say get through to him? Does he realizing he's being a fucking hypocrite?
No. He is not in fact too concerned with what you had to say to him.
I don't think we're gonna get to Ulrich this one, bud.
With him being disarmed, he does a full-on backflip back to the edge of the area, distancing himself from you, and he looks over and he realizes that the water Goliath has been destroyed. And he goes, no! As he's saying that, he sees the parts of the wall are starting to come down for the water to start coming through.
So his plan worked anyways.
To which she's like, maybe!
Well, we might not get a great wave for Riverside City, but it should do enough.
Just like I did up to your balls.
So yeah, it's now Yardak's turn again.
If Yardane is on there with me, then we're both just gonna whoop. But waves are the theme here and go right back up with them.
Oh, you're just gonna let the water keep flowing out?
Oh my god. I was just like, they still have a bad guy. I'm not even thinking about the entire town. Yikes. Ooh, that could have been bad. In a less dramatic fashion than we're still going to try to at least keep the water back and some pressure off of the wall.
Okay, roll 2 water checks.
2?
Yep.
First one, not so great. That's a 9, so 19 altogether. And then a 12, a little better, so 22.
Okay, so the first one, you don't catch it quite in time. It starts to crack worse.
Oh.
But then the second one comes around and the two of you are able to like hold it back. Like you're basically holding the water in place. You're not bringing any of the water back. And obviously you can't let it go because of the situation it's in.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be easier to just stop progression than push back.
Right. Like basically you are holding it in place for now.
Mm.
But remember, it is a lot of water and you are two dudes.
A whole bunch.
And so now it's Ruby's turn again.
Okay, so can Ruby see what's going on with the reservoir?
Kinda. Like you can hear the like things that are cracking, you can hear water flowing.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can run to one of the edges. Am I close enough, like above here, that I could maybe start trying to make boxes where the dam is cracking to try and stop the water?
So you are not quite close enough. However, since I didn't really give Yaradamo his own turn, basically that you could try to get Yaradamo's attention to throw you a water zip line.
I'm just gonna jump up at Yaradamo, and I was like, I can help build it.
Does Yardak see this?
Actually, I can just go, but like, look, and like, kind of like nod my head up towards Ruby.
And yeah, so he sees that, and he immediately like siphons off some of the water. Like he's still like using one hand to hold it and siphoning off some towards Ruby. Ruby, you're gonna want something to be able to shimmy down this line on.
I make a rope.
And I want you to make an acrobatics check.
19 altogether.
Yeah, you get a running start and you jump and you throw the rope up and it catches the water and you just slide all the way down. Unfortunately, leaving Lazerhawk by himself.
Sorry, buddy, though I have to say the steady. Also, Alasso, I tried to help you. You got stabbed. So.
Yeah.
But I guess because I made the rope, I can't make the blocks now, can I?
Right. That'll have to wait till your next turn, but you're at least there now.
Maybe at least there now. You know what? I come down, I'm gonna be like, thanks, and give him a big thumbs up then.
Yeah, he draws the water back, like, into him to start, like, using it again as more force.
Oh, for a second I thought you were gonna say he makes a thumbs up with the water.
I mean, sure he does. In fact, the water, he draws it back, forms it into a quick thumbs up, and then draws it back in to hold more at bay.
I love that. I love him.
And it's Lazerhawk's turn now.
How far away is this dude?
From you, like 20 feet.
Well, looks like it's just you and me, you're a douchebag. Let's finish this. And I'm gonna lunge forward and taser fist him in the face.
Okay, roll an attack.
Fucking right. That would be a 27.
Okay. DC?
25 for the taser fist.
Yeah, you smash him straight in the face, like full on, like haymaker him.
Yeah.
And he goes flying off the building.
Hey.
Yeah.
And of course his body is dense and durable, but he lands like in a full on crater down below. Not too far from where Ruby is. And he looks down for the count.
And she's just gonna look at him and go, good.
Yardak, it is your turn then. And I'd like you to make 2 more water resistance checks.
Okay. 6 plus 10 is 16. And then 4 plus 10 is 14.
Fuck.
All right, you guys are starting to lose a little grip on it.
Okay.
Like it's just so much pressure and it's just not too much for you to hold back. However, Ruby, I'm going to want you to roll some creation checks, 3 of them.
Okay. 19. 18 altogether. Much better roll. 22 altogether.
Yeah, so basically it's not like strong, like it's definitely not going to hold forever, but you're making a series of patch jobs basically, covering in all of the major cracks and at least most of the hole where a lot of this water is flowing out from, enough to stop the flow.
Okay. I think Ruby's going to just keep doing that for as long as she can right now. Maybe just make more, because if they're not the strongest.
Yeah, roll a fortitude check.
Oh, good. You can't keep me down. 26.
You are so very tired, but you are able to keep up with forming these and like forming extra layers on top of them to harden it enough that Yardak and Yaradamo feel that there's no longer any water flowing out of it.
Okay.
I was like, we're gonna have to get like an actual like crew to come fix this, but this is good for now.
Yeah, so we're out of initiative then.
And Lazerhawk just falls over exhausted.
Same.
Oh, he doesn't come down to join the rest of the team?
No, I'm still up there. I'm just like, fuck it. I'll go down in 5 minutes. I'm laying down for a sec. Fuck, my arms hurt.
Ruby makes a chair and sits on it.
Okay. What about Yardak and Yaradamo?
After like the exhaustion hitting us as well, just kind of slump and then just float on our backs in the water. Everybody needs a breather.
As Ruby's sitting there for a second, she calls Agent Kevin Lewis.
I was about to do that.
Yeah.
Ruby, is everything okay?
Good for now. They managed to break part of the dam, but I used the boxes that I make to at least hold it for now. Their leader is out, seems to be out. He's just got thrown off a roof, so I think he's unconscious.
Okay, we will send a crew. We sustained some losses, but we were able to either capture or drive off the remaining ones.
That's good. And Ruby just does a huge yawn.
Ulrich and Rickard are making their way back from the north end.
What to say? I was like, if Ulrich is one of those losses, we're going to have some fucking words.
I was going to be like, if Rickard's in another fucking coma.
And then moments later, one of the vulture crafts, the vertical takeoff and landing ones, come into the reservoir area with a couple of special ops guys, some power gauntlets to bring in Yardane, and like some med guys.
Ruby stands up, makes the chair to solve, and then just turns to the agents. Are there beds on there?
Not exactly, but there are like seating areas.
I need a nap.
What about your van?
Oh, God. Can we take that? And I just point to the van that's like dented.
And one of the guys like nods and he goes, yeah, we can hook it up to the craft.
And then I was like, do you know if Union does any like repair work on cars?
You can talk to Frank about that. He might be able to finagle some things.
Okay, cool. Hey, Laser.
And I slowly kind of get up to my feet and shuffle my body slowly down toward it. I don't even make it to a seat. I just fall on my face on the floor.
I got to a seat. The two Atlanteans floating in the reservoir? Is that what they were doing?
Just without saying, like just bloop, another little wave will pop back up there.
All right, Vulture picks up the van.
I text Bethany and be like, our fight's over. Heard things are taken care of on the north side. Are you okay?
And she goes, yeah, I got some awesome video. I already got it online.
Great.
Then you check your phone and it shows Ulrich fighting the Atlanteans. And a lot of the comments are like, is that the werewolf thing from last year? The Vulture takes you in the van and it loads in like all the unconscious Atlanteans and takes you all back to Echo Base. And Lewis, kind of looking around, counts how many like Atlanteans like they also have from the other people that they were able to capture. And he just starts saying to folks, keep those cuffs on them. We don't have enough space to keep them all right now.
I'm going to turn to Yardak. We should tell the king that we have them.
Yeah, definitely. And then he can take them off of our hands and put them in Atlantean prisons that are, made for Atlanteans.
And you actually see like Lewis and Yaradamo kind of arguing a little bit.
Well, I'm just going to walk over to them. Not even going to try. I'm just straight up walk over.
Lewis is basically like, they attacked us. We need to keep them here. These are our prisoners. And Yaradamo is basically like, no, they need to face Atlantean justice for their crimes.
Yeah, no, 100% on Yaradamo's side.
I'm going to walk up and did I hear any of this?
Yeah, I would imagine that towards the end there, it was getting a little like, particularly Yaradamo's last line of, they need to face Atlantean justice.
We are trying to open diplomatic ties with the Atlanteans. It wouldn't be a bad idea to at least work with them on this.
Okay, if y'all want to roll persuasion on this.
Yeah, apparently Ruby is now the ambassador of Atlantis, so a non-nat 20.
21.
Lewis just lets out a sigh and says, fine. Confer with your men, figure out what needs to happen next.
You got it. I'm going to contact him right away.
And I'm going to say this just to Lewis. It's also a good thing that we let the humans know that the official Atlantean government considers these men criminals. We don't want people thinking the Atlantean royal family are behind these people.
Yes, I called Betsy the moment this started happening. She's been in discussions with everyone, basically.
Good.
She tell Breitbart yet? They're going to be the worst about it.
Ew.
The hardcore right-wing blogs are going to be totally using this for anti-Atlantean smears for years.
I'm really sad that Breitbart is apparently canon now in this world.
Can I go talk to Frank and ask if he can fix my van? Or if he knows who can fix my van?
While Yardak is figuring things out with the Arcaven and Lazerhawk is healing up a little bit, he's getting a juice box.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what? I pull out my phone and I type out the following. Hey son, I know I haven't been around a lot lately. I promise I'm gonna make all this up to you one day. Send.
Aww.
I go up to engineering and I'm like, knock, knock, knock.
Because you came into the engineering door, there's a little psst and tss, and it opens up with the hydraulics and lets you in. Frank is actually examining the Atlantean harpoon gun, the one that like electrified Lazerhawk's leg.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Ruby, what's up?
I have a kind of a favor to ask. Does Union do any vehicle fixing?
You fucked up your van on the job, didn't you?
We used it as a battering ram to run into an Atlantean.
Roll persuasion.
And when Lazerhawk was on top of it, to like steady himself, he like punched it.
Look, part of that might have been me working through some things.
Ooh, I rolled fairly well. 24.
Only for you, kid.
Thanks, Frank. You're the best.
All right. Don't tell anybody I did this, though. I'll get a couple of the guys on it. Where's the van? Is it out front?
Yeah, the Vulture flew it back when we came back.
Yeah, I'll get a couple guys on it. Would you be all right to get like an Uber home or something?
I'm way too tired to drive. I would be a danger to society.
Chapter 34 Beneath the Surface, Part 2. Masks and Mayhem uses the game Mutants and Masterminds 3rd Edition by Green Ronin Publishing. We are not affiliated. The podcast is written, produced, and forced to fight at the local reservoir by myself, R.C. Byler. Masks and Mayhem is a member of the New England Podcast Consortium. Other members can be found at newenglandpodcasts.com. You can follow us for free forever on Apple Podcasts or your app of choice. Please leave us a review so we can hear about what you love about the show. Our official art is by Jenn Evans, and our branding is by AJ Solomon. Our theme music is by Cloud Road Music. Additional music credits, social media links, blog posts, and episodes can be found on our website at masksandmayhem.com. Like a real short one, just so Dan can go to sleep soon, but I want everyone's feedback.
Yeah, I really liked this episode. I think it was like a good mix of like minion-y like threats we could take out, and the one dude who was such like a pain in the ass to take out.
I was gonna say it felt the most superhero-y that it has for a while.
Okay.
Not that other villains weren't big bads, but that it was like actual powers on powers and not Bert with like weapons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what did we think of getting a closer look at Yardane's powers?
He was fun to kick in the balls.
Yardak, learn how to do that shit.
Right? Shit, I want those runes.
Should have tossed him right in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, how often would they be useful? You don't usually often fight Atlanteans.
No, but like if I could like they could do other things. I don't know what all they could do.
I mean, the electrocuting one would probably be kind of useful.
Yeah. Tase some bitches.
Atlantean magic is deep and complex, and I'm glad that we got to explore that.
You know, the thing I hate is that, like, just in character, if you gave me a heads up, I'd probably let you test it on me.
So yeah, I felt like this episode was like pretty combat heavy. I think that was kind of unavoidable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it wasn't like oppressively combat heavy.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the set piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I also liked, I had a couple, like, with the water thing, I had like a different way to use like a power. I actually used quite a bit, but Instead of keeping people in boxes, I was using boxes to keep water in.
I mean, I also really loved that you like smushed a guy.
Looking at my phone was like, if I smush someone, I can say ding dong, the witch is dead. I was just curious, did we do anything that surprised you, Ursi?
Oh yeah, you guys always surprise me in some way. Like I wasn't exactly sure how a lot of that would go. Like in terms of, I thought at one point that Lazerhawk was just gonna like jump over all the minions and immediately go fighting Yardane. In which case, I think he would have gotten his ass kicked a little worse.
I thought about it until Yaradamo got his shit wrecked, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should hang out for a minute. And I finally contacted my son.
Thank God.